Hi. Today's song is a special one. It was requested by my mother. She's 90, she lives in New Britain, and she's at home all the time. She really can't get around anymore. Um, and I'm going to tell you a story that is kind of interesting. My father was a piano teacher and a church musician, and he taught me how to play. Um, and because he was a piano teacher, uh, during when I lived at home when I was a kid, and we lived right across from Central Connecticut State College, he used to walk me to school, and then I'd walk back later on. Um, and he did that because he had piano students when we were home. So sometimes he would teach from like 2:30 until 10 o'clock at night. And so we didn't really get to see him because he had student after student. And then during the day when the students were at school, he was free and he did piano tunings and that kind of thing. So anyway, he would walk me to school, and in kindergarten and first and second grade, there was no issue at all. But when I got to fifth grade, of course, we started getting teased, and today they call it bullied. I'd have one particular boy that would wait after school for me as I was coming home, and he would always call me a baby, a sissy, your father's got to walk you home from school. And he would try to attack me as I was just walking along, kind of minding my own business. I was trying to ignore him. And then when he tried to hit me or whatever, I would run because my parents told me never to fight, and we don't fight, and so I said, well, okay, that's what I did. But as the year progressed, it happened every day, and I didn't want to go to school anymore. I had fake illnesses, and I don't want to go to school today. And so my father said, what's going on? Why don't you want to go to school anymore? And I didn't want to tell him, but he pressed me pretty hard for it. So I said, well, Dad, there's this kid that waits after school for me, and he tries to hit me because you're walking me to school. And he says, what? And I said, yeah. And so so I don't want to go. And well, the school year was almost over by then. So he says, well, I'll fix it. Now, I think some parents would go to the school, try to fix it. Others might say, well, I won't walk you to school anymore, if that's a problem. But my father took an unusual route. What he did was he bought me a pair of boxing gloves, and he bought himself a pair of boxing gloves. And so he taught me how to box that summer. Now, he wasn't a boxer, he wasn't athletic at all. Really, he was a piano teacher. All he really knew was music and that type of thing. So I never questioned how he knew how to box or anything like that. I just figured, well, all dads know how to do all sorts of things. So he taught me how to duck a punch, how to weave, how to do whatever I needed to do, how to throw a punch. And I got to be pretty good at it. So when school started in sixth grade, he says, remember, when you're walking home now, if that kid's waiting for you, don't do anything aggressive. But if he throws a punch, I want you to answer. So, okay. So as I was walking home, sure enough, I was getting the same thing, start of sixth grade. And so I told him, I said, if you try to hit me today, I'm not going to run. He goes, oh, you're a big baby, you'll run. I said, no, but if you try to hit me, I'm going to hit you back. And he says, oh, you'll never do that. So anyway, he came at me, and the next thing I knew, I ducked his punch, and I threw a punch so hard that it knocked him down to the ground and could have possibly broke his jaw, because that's what he was saying happened when he was crying like a big baby. So anyway, he said, I'm going to tell your mother what you did. You broke my jaw. I said, well, we can go home, and I'll go to my house. It's only 2 blocks up, and then you can tell her. So rang the bell. My mom came out, and he says, your son did that. Look at my jaw. And my mother says, well, you were bothering him all last year. What do you want? You're a big baby. Go home, cry at your mother's house. So that ended the problem. Never had that problem again. And And then about 4 months ago, because my father passed away about almost a year and a half ago, about 4 months ago, I was kind of rummaging around the house looking for different items and so forth. And I opened the drawer. I had never really opened a cabinet. And in the cabinet was these two gloves. Well, actually, there were four, obviously. It was my father's pair and my little pair. And I thought, wow, he kept those gloves in that place all that time. I had no idea. So he must have been really proud of what all that meant. So anyway, I want to play his arrangement of the Lord's Prayer. This was kind of his special arrangement. I don't play other people's arrangements of songs. I usually play my own arrangements of songs. And mostly you never hear me play the same arrangement twice because I never remember what I played the time before. If I play like Just As I Am, I might play it 60 different ways. But on a couple of songs, there's one song I like, the Way We Were. I like this guy's arrangement of it, so I copied it. And the other arrangement I have is my father's Lord's Prayer, which is very close to how he played it. I learned it as close as I could by listening to some recordings. So in any event, that's what I'm going to do for you today, the Lord's Prayer, and I hope you enjoy it.